welcome to the deanvonmusic podcast show, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Children need to be protected, dreaming, not a life with a neglected meaning. Every year there's so much traffic feelings, so much shame on people live without feeling.
This week, I'm joined by the incredibly talented Nyki Lindsay King, a Montreal-born artist whose sound blends the best of funk, soul, R&B, and reggae. Growing up inspired by legends like Eddie Vedder, Kurt Cobain, and Chester Bennington, Niki hit the stage at just 7 years old, performing with his brother as the King Brothers. His music has drawn comparisons to bands like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, Our Lady Peace, mixing powerful emotions with a unique blend of genres.
But they continue with the needlepoint feeding, round them up for all the killing and stealing. There's people watching, but there's not enough speaking. Too many enemies will fall.
Niki is known for writing songs about real-life struggles, aiming to help others through their own challenges. So get ready for an unforgettable conversation with Niki on April 3rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a night you won't want to miss.
Mistakes. 'Cause I'm running out of time, and I'm trying to save a life. We've been holding on to life. It's the hardest to face, and we make it through the night. I don't really want to fight. Let's just try to make it right.
Well, welcome to the show, Niki. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Came in at the last second there.
Yeah.
I was getting
I'm
a little
usually-
nervous.
I'm usually early to the party.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the link you had was old because it might have changed. Sometimes the link changes. And so I sent you a new link. Well, welcome to the show anyway. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You look relaxed.
I'm trying to be. I was kind of skeptical about 5 minutes ago.
Well, I want to welcome you to the Dean Von Music. My voice is gone. I don't know why. I had this stomach flu last night and I kept coughing and now I can't talk.
Yeah. You know what? With flus and colds, man, they're retroactive.
Yes, they are. But welcome to the show tonight.
That's for having me here.
I want to introduce you a little bit, let people know where you are. You're out in Canada, Montreal, Canada tonight. You were born in Montreal, right?
Yes, I have. I'm born in Montreal.
Nice.
In more in Saint Laurent area, but yeah, pretty much raised in Verdun.
Nice. How is it out there? Is it cold?
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm used to the cold, so I'm not your average. Yeah, I'm Canadian, so
Right. I'm in Las Vegas, so it gets really hot.
yeah, maybe too hot for me.
I heard you're a hockey fan.
Big time.
How did I know that? I mean, it's not in your
I don't
bio.
know.
It's not in your bio. You're
My
Pittsburgh,
page.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, since
And-
Mario.
And you one of your players is Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, he's my favorite player now. I came to love him as he came in. I wasn't too big on him in the beginning, but yeah, as he came in, he's great. He's a great player on and off the ice.
There's a lot of records being broke right now in hockey, and I can't remember the guy's name, but there's somebody that's about to beat Wayne Gretzky's record.
Oh, but yeah, Alex. Yeah,
Is it
the
Alex?
thing is what people don't understand is that Alex Ovechkin is scoring goals
Right.
against bigger, faster. This day and age, it's harder to hockey game, man. It's not the same. No offense, I'm a Gretzky fan from the day one. but
Right.
It's just the competition level is at another level, man.
It really is. And what do you think that's due to? Like technology, just faster pucks, more talent? I don't know.
Better training.
Better training. Yeah, I've been listening to your music, man. Great stuff.
Thank you very much.
In
Appreciate that
fact,
you like it.
this one's stuck in my head now forever. And because I've been playing it for the commercial. I don't know if you heard the commercial.
Yes, I have.
And I do that to preface, to let people know who you are, because if I was interviewing like Alice Cooper, they might know who he is. But I do a lot of new bands and new musicians, new artists, which I like. I want to do that.
That's cool.
I'm not all about the big numbers and all that shit. I want to introduce new talent to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you are one of them. And anyway, I have some notes up here. Not only are you a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, but you have some records out. You have some singles out. And I've been looking at your Spotify plays. You have quite a few tunes up there. Running Out of Time, which we've been listening to tonight. And Don't Box Me In. And I'm thinking that's one of your newest or one of your newer ones?
It's one of the older ones.
Older ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that number right? I'm seeing 1.5 million views.
Yeah.
That
song has a lot of TV, a lot of like the WWE Countdown movie with Dolph Ziggler. It opens the movie, and it had
Nice.
a lot of people who are interested in that, even kids shows and stuff in Canada.
That is really
So,
cool. Yeah.
It's 10 years.
10
20
years.
years. Sorry. 20 years.
See, I'm going to get around to you a little bit, your early upbringing in music. And you also have another song, Circles. It had 240,000 views up there. Found My Way, 20,000 views. Same again, 53K. And My Additions. And Falling, Years, Puppets, and Lonely World.
Yeah.
NA. And albums. Now, I'm seeing one album. It's called Falter Black, 2007. Is there more
That's
than
a
that?
controversial thing. There's a Falter white. There's a Falter album that's white, and it's just Falter. I had to redo Falter and title it Black because
Are you serious?
a lot of my songs were getting taken, hijacked.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
people were putting them on compilations and streaming, and I had lots of problems with lots
That's
of things,
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy, man. I like the way your name is spelled because I can find you by typing in NYKI. If I was to type in NIKKI or NIK or NI, I would probably get 1,000 of them or 1,000,000 of them.
Yeah.
And, I always say that to artists, like come up with a really unique name, one that's not going to clash, with everyone else. And fortunately, my name does come up, Dean Vaughn, spelled VON. And there was another guy, VAUGHN. Everyone wants to spell it that way. And I'm like, no, man. But I have a lot of music queued up. We got some fans that are on the chat thread tonight. And we also are taking call-ins to the show. If you look behind me, you might see.
I see some stuff, but I was told something about that, but yeah.
Let me see if I can find that one. Hold on a second. I've got one. Did you know I made a mug for you?
No.
See it? Right. Hold on. Let me get out of the way.
I see it now, yeah.
I do a mug for every. I do one for every.
Did you put some coffee in there for me?
I have to wake you up, man. So anyway, if you're familiar with the show, I kind of dive deep. I go back into your early career, your early upbringing. And just give me a little story. Your parents, were your parents supportive of your music career? And were you active in high school and playing in band and all that stuff? And then at what point did you decide to get serious?
I've been playing music most of my life. When I was 7 years old, I was on stage with my two brothers as the King Brothers.
Brothers.
We were playing reggae, funk, soul, and R&B. There was no rock.
I see that.
My father is the one who's coordinated us in that and opened most of the shows for reggae artists overseas in the 80s.
I love reggae.
He had a single back in the day, Rasta Nah Run, and his name, aka, was Youth Rasimang. Yeah,
Youth Rasimang. I like that.
Yeah, he passed away in June. Yeah, last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it's been a tough ride trying to get this single out and the video with all this other stuff going on, you know.
Was your dad
And
a big influence on you early on?
a big time. I've never left music because of my father.
Yeah,
Pretty much followed in his footsteps.
I can agree with that because my mom was a professional musician, and when I was like 4, I'd sit on the piano bench with her, and I just grew up around music, and my dad wanted me to play sports, but he was married to a singer that was singing professionally in Vegas. So, I just chose music, even though I played sports. I just wasn't big enough. So I ended up playing music. No regrets.
I played basketball in high school for a bunch of teams. I was I think on my way to semi-pro, and I kind of went a different avenue. Yeah, I was athletic and played lots of sports in high school. But I always had love for music, and I did share the stage with Alton Ellis, and he's a rock steady superstar legend. Ken Booth, Paula Clark, many artists from back in the day. I was in the studio with Yellowman in Jamaica when we went down there when I was 15 in 1992. Not that he
Nice.
probably remember. He wouldn't remember me though, but my dad knew most of these cats, like they call them. And I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I had some experiences seeing some people in that when I was younger. And it started like that. I had a band eventually that was rock with my brother, my younger brother, on drums.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we titled the band Frantic.
Frantic.
Yeah.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. You have quite a few influences, and one I picked out was Chester Bennington, the lead, the front man, uh, for Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And and I hear a little bit of that in your songs. I hear, very commercial sound. I'm not saying you sound like him, but that
Mm.
that sound that makes you want to
There's
sing.
there's the influences of Chester, and obviously Eddie Vedder is one of the loves of my music career.
Yeah, I
Michael
saw that.
Jackson. I know
Yeah.
it's so diverse, Michael Jackson and Eddie Vedder, but Kurt Cobain, of course, and Linkin Park, Chester Bennington it's kind of who could scream in tone, who could
Yeah.
scream in nice tones.
Right.
Those kind of
Right.
singers, like, and I won't leave out Freddie Mercury because he's the best of the best.
He is
No,
the
no, for
best.
sure.
Yeah. Well, you can't top Freddie. He was so clean and so operatic, and his range was amazing, and he sang with such feeling and dynamic, which really makes a singer stand out,
Yeah,
opposed to being the same volume or the same loudness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
When you come in and out. I'm a singer myself. I don't know if you know my history. I was the lead singer for Danger, and I've been singing for 40 years. 45
Wow.
years, and I play guitar and piano and all that good stuff. But and do you play other instruments in the studio?
Guitar, and I don't play on my tracks though. No,
Not
no,
on the tracks? Okay. So
no.
you bring in the pros. You bring in
Yeah,
the
I
guys.
bring
Okay.
in. Well, actually, I get an engineer who can play pretty much everything.
Really? The engineer?
Yeah. An engineer who's multi-talented.
Now
Bobby
that's a
John is the one. Yeah, he worked on this with me, and he's been working with me on a lot of stuff. He's really talented.
now that's a first for me. I've been in the business for over 45 years, and I don't know one engineer that could play.
I have two of them that did this.
Two of them. Oh my God. That's crazy.
The one that did the Don't Box Me In EP, he was amazing. He was amazing too. Like, these guys are phenomenal. Like, to be able to play everything, and yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, you got some really cool videos out there. I've been checking them out. I have about 3 queued up tonight. We're going to play some music if you don't mind. I don't know what time it is out there. What time is it?
Here it's probably about
I just didn't.
10:16.
PM?
Yeah, it's 10 now.
I don't want to keep you up too late, man, but I want people to
It's
hear your
okay.
music. Okay. You have, well, the one we've been listening to, Running Out of Time. And audience, excuse my voice tonight. I sound like Joe Cocker or something. We got quite a few people. You got quite a few people on the thread tonight. I'm looking at Facebook, I'm looking at YouTube, and I'm looking at Instagram. And the reason I go on Instagram because I have some friends out there that love to watch the show. But I'm streaming on all three tonight live, and then after we're done tonight, I'll put it back out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Audible. It'll be on over 50 platforms in 105 countries.
You're scaring me. No, I'm kidding.
So be on your best behavior. I'm just kidding. But I'm without further ado, I want to play this video only because I really like it. And I think the audience is going to love it. And I just already have it queued up because I always run into these commercials that I have to listen to. So without further ado, I am going to play it. Let me see here. We're just going to go over to that screen real quick. Sit back, relax. Now your voice on Niki is live. So if you burp or do anything, it will show up. And I remember one guy had barking dogs. They barked the entire video. So let's play it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
Okay, man. Here we go. Turn it up.
When I was young, I used to try to achieve it. Anything that I could do that I believed in. Now I'm getting kinda old every season. I pray to God to heal this world before I'm leaving. Children need to be protected, dreaming. Not a life with a neglected meaning. Every year there's so much traffic dealings. So much evil people live without feeling. Here's to all the ones who gave love and talk about the ones who hate. 'Cause someone's gotta make mistakes. 'Cause I'm running out of time, and I'm trying to save a life. We've been holding on to life. It's the hardest to face. Can we make it through the night? I don't really wanna fight. Let's just try to make it right. It's the hardest to face. Our destination is so vital for healing, but they continue with the needle point feeding. Round them up for all the killing and stealing. There's people watching, but there's not enough speaking. Too many enemies will fall for treason. I live by energy, but God is the reason. Friends and family will turn while you're sleeping. Listen up to make you sick without you reading. Here's to all the ones who gave love and talk about the ones who hate. 'Cause someone's gotta make mistakes. 'Cause I'm running out of time, and I'm trying to save a life. We've been holding on to life. It's the hardest to face. Can we make it through the night? I don't really wanna fight. Let's just try to make it right. It's the hardest to face. Running out of time, and I'm trying to save a life. We've been holding on to light. It's the hardest to face. Can we make it through the night? I don't really wanna fight. Let's just try to make it right. It's the hardest to face.
How did that sound on your side? There's it cranking?
Sounded okay.
Yeah.
it
What do
sounded
you
really
know?
good.
No, it didn't sound okay. It sounded great.
The kick was crazy. Yeah.
Dude, I love the sound. You got a great mix. That freaking engineer, man, he knows what he's doing. And he plays instruments. That's crazy. No, he did a nice job on the mix on that. Very nice job.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm very impressed. And I watched the video. I got to play this one tonight. And then I have Circles. Uh-oh. I have.
Oh, that's the old one. Yeah, that's good though.
Oh, it is. Circles.
Yeah, it's an older one, but it was a
And-
good. That was on that actually was on national TV. That one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I spoke to someone tonight about the other one, and he wants to put it on national too. Just
Was
to
it on?
send
What
that
was it
person.
on? How did it get on national? How'd that happen?
I sent it to a local channel, and they put it on the air throughout Canada. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I
Is it
just sent this. Sorry, go ahead.
is it easier to get things on air in Canada than it is the United States?
Not necessarily. I'll
Okay.
be honest about that. There was a channel that was accepting videos when I did Circles, and I just submitted it to them, and they accepted it. But now I
Wow.
just spoke to someone who's working with MTV and stuff like that, and that news just came in a little earlier, and he said that this song and video will play on that too. So
That's very
yeah.
cool. Very cool. I know it's very difficult out here. And I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, and I've been a musician since I was about, 14, seriously at 14. And I've recorded 3 records, and I've always had a very hard time, but that was before technology took over. And now the internet, God, I wish I'd started now because, I
Yeah.
spent so much money and time doing CDs and albums in the early 80s through the late 80s, and it cost a fortune to get a CD done or to get
I
any.
found out that I got some guys who were actually pluggers, and I actually beat them. To be honest
Really?
with you. There was one. Yeah, there was one in the UK and there was one in Canada, and it wasn't even close. Put it that way. I just said to myself, you know what? I've been working so hard to do this album and record. I said
Right.
I'm gonna email them. I'm gonna email them all one by one, and I started to do a bit. It was a lot of work, and then I said I'm gonna do the rest of them, and I got lots of the radio stations myself.
Wow. So you're pretty much very independent.
Yeah, I like to work hard, and I mean I don't think anyone's gonna work harder than you for yourself. You know what I mean?
No, I absolutely agree. I'm a big advocator of taking control of your own destiny, your own career. And if you can do it yourself, do it. But it's always nice to have a little bit of help.
Yeah, that always helps.
You're signed by you just got a new label. Is it Curtain Call Records?
Yep.
And did things change
They've been helping push the record, or the song, actually the single, putting it in a lot of places. Since I've been with them, it's been way more places. So yeah, it's getting played.
So it helps to have some radio airplay. I know Rock Rage Radio plays a big role out there, getting you guys on the air. Yeah, and I've been talking a little bit with Curtain Call about doing some streaming up there on their program, like an audio podcast type thing. But
Cool.
I have about a bunch of songs. This one here, I kind of like this one. Do you know the name of it?
Yeah.
One Last Breath.
Yeah, I wrote that song with my engineer Martin Brunet. He made the
like
music, and I figured out the lyrics for it. Yeah.
I like it. Who you singing with on that? Is it just you?
Just me. Yeah, I wrote all the lyrics. He wrote all the music, and we put it together like that.
Mind if I give it a listen real quick?
Go ahead.
Get up. smokes, man. You know, you got such a commercial sound. I mean, is that built in? Have you, I know you play reggae and soul and all that stuff, but at what point did you decide I'm going to write some very commercial material? And there is a difference between, you know, reggae and what I'm listening to tonight. So when
Yeah,
did you?
that crossed over when I was 13.
Okay, so that's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. When did you make that transition and why?
In 1992 when I was 15, and then I released an album, Dinner at Ma's, in 2000. Yeah,
Okay,
that was the first rock album with my brother on drums, my younger brother Tari. Yeah,
okay,
that was Frantic. Yeah, we had two albums of Frantic,
nice.
and then I auditioned for One and Left, my buddy Danik Chagnon and a bunch of guys, and yeah, that's where it started. Pretty much, I got a lot of experience with them, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have a pretty diverse talent. Being able to go from soul, reggae, and then over to the pop scene. Would you consider that pop or hard rock? Right, to what we're listening to.
It depends. I mean, I guess it's pretty. There's a thin line between sometimes rock and pop,
It's
but I
sometimes hard.
understand. Like, yeah, that can go as a pop song. There's some songs I do have that are a little poppier, but I
Yeah.
mean, there's some that are really heavy too. So I mean, they can say it's new metal, or they can say it's alternative rock, or I
Right,
still
right,
think it's
right.
rock genre.
Rock genre, yeah. You know, my
Yeah.
my friend Tom McDonald, he's a rapper, and he's very political, by the way. And he's
Oh, dude, is it Tom McDonald? Tom McDonald?
Tom
I know.
McDonald.
I love his stuff. Love his stuff.
And have you heard
Yeah,
his
yeah,
pop? He
yeah.
went from extreme rap to this pop tune. Like he just wanted to prove to iTunes he could get a #1 hit, right? On iTunes. And he did. He got a #1 hit on iTunes. It blew me away. And
Yeah.
he was just on the news like, you know, yesterday. And he's very outspoken, as you know.
Yeah, yeah, I love his stuff. Love his stuff. I could say that. I love his stuff.
He would be controversial to most people, but you know, I know that you're going to be okay with that I mentioned him. Because he loves everyone, man. He talks about the problems that are going on in the politics and all the, you know, baloney and
Yeah.
the, you know, just everything. And I'm so glad that the country's on the right track right now, and we're starting to get our expenses under control and get this country back in control again. And I know you're out in Canada, but you know, and it doesn't matter.
Save us, save us,
Save
save
us.
us.
You know, wouldn't that be nice? You know, I think life would be better. I don't know. And Greenland, what about? I don't want to get into politics. Anyway, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada tonight, and you know, are you ever going to come out here and play to Las Vegas?
I would love to. Actually, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. I need to start playing. That's for sure. Because I'm like getting itchy.
When is the last time you played out live?
Um, hmm, 2 decades ago.
Oh,
Yeah, this is my turnaround time when I said I'm gonna like I'm not sure if I'm gonna stop doing music, and then I started to write again and I said no, this is my curtain call. That's
there
why
you
I'm signed with
go.
Curtain Call Records. See, it all makes sense.
That's so ironic. That's your curtain call. You know, I'm right with you on that one. I haven't played out live in over a decade, maybe almost 2 decades too. Because you know, I don't know, I'm getting older now, and I got into the podcast thing. It was just fun. I get to meet new musicians like yourself. I would never meet you if I was a lead singer in a rock band because we wouldn't be talking.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
And so I really like doing this because I really like meeting the new musicians, and I like to hear the new music that's coming in. And a lot of people are like, wow, man, music's really gone sideways and all this shit. But when they listen to like tonight, music hasn't gone sideways. It's coming back around to that. And your stuff is amazing.
I
And
got a lot of other surprises coming along the way. Don't worry. This
good,
is just beginning.
good. Well, the audience wants to hear that. And also, I forgot to mention, we're taking calls tonight. Call into the show, people. Let me see if I can put up the numbers for you real quick. And again, I apologize for my voice. I feel like I've been singing, 24 hours straight. It's crazy. And there's the numbers there. Okay, so it's talk to the band time. And the phone number for the audio listeners out there tonight is 669. It's country code 1, 669-444-9171. Country code 1, 669-444-9171. And the meeting ID they'll ask you for is 702-927-2226. 702-927-2226. And if you look to my left shoulder, be your right, I'm not sure. But there's a QR code, and it's a scan to find your local number. So if you're in Argentina, Finland, Brazil, or something, you can someone's calling me. I always forget to turn my phone off. So give a call into the show and talk to Niki. He's waiting for you. And that QR code will give you local numbers around the world. That's what I was going to say. So if you scan that code, you'll find all of the phone numbers in about 90 countries. Brazil, Finland, Australia, Bangladesh, India, you name it. And you'd be surprised how many people get to watch the show. I look at my analytics and I see a whole bunch of countries in there. It's really cool. And I never had, we never had this reach before, being an entertainer, being able to get on the internet and talk to somebody in another country. That was unheard of, right? That was unheard of. And I don't know how old you are, but I'm going back to 1979 through 86, 89. I was 14 when I recorded my first album. And that was in 1979. It was actually a single, I'm sorry. 2 songs, and it got airplay on KLOS radio out here in LA. And KMET and KNEC and some college stations. And that's about the time my friend Tommy Lee was in Motley Crue, and we went to school together, me and Tom. So, wow, I used to hang out and watch him play at lunchtime. What a great drummer. And so tell me a little bit about your backline or your musicians that you play with. Is there a permanent backline, or do you change it out every show like some artists do? Do you have a kind of a steady?
I kind of have an idea who's working on this project, and I guess I would say before that it would be bands. It would be a band thing. Now I'm a solo artist, so it's not the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, I pretty much have it coordinated to who's playing, and when we it's just when we're gonna get started to do that.
If you get out on tour again or get out gigging again, are you gonna you already have your group of guys ready to go?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of have a steady thing going.
Just fixing up the rest of the songs. That's where we're at now.
Well, you're doing good so far. I have so many songs in front of me. I want to play another video before we lose any audience or somebody gets tired. I know it's late out there in Canada. Would you like to play Box Me In or Circles?
I don't think there's a video for Don't Box Me In. There's a video for Circles, but
you know what? Hold on. Let me chill.
I don't
know. Commercials drive me nuts. Box Me In. Hang on a second. Okay, so what you're saying is, because I did watch it, but it was like a still, right?
Yeah.
Circles. Hang on. There it is. Oh yeah, I remember this one. This one's good. I really like it. Let me get it ready. Hang on a second. Oops. Let me bring this over. A lot of moving parts on my side there, Niki. A lot of moving parts.
That's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
There's nothing automatic on my side. Nothing. I gotta do everything myself. But let me get it queued up. We have the Circles by Nyki Lindsay King, and the song is called Circles. And when was this written, Niki?
Oof.
That long
Around,
ago?
yes, 15 years ago.
Oh my God, seriously? Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, it's still a great song, and you wrote it, so who cares? I got songs that are 20, I got songs that are 20, 30 years old. I still play them. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
in circles again, trying to find my way around. If I just get through today, maybe I can find my place. And I pray to God each night for the strength to change my life. No one waits around for you, but we have to carry through. Giving the most, giving it all that you can give. Don't be afraid to face the world alone. You stand up on your own. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. I've been searching for friends to forgive me for some things that I did when I wasn't myself. As a matter of fact, I can live my life the way that I was meant to live, so free. Now I can breathe. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Ever since then, I'll never be dazed and so confused. We can't forfeit. Sometimes we have to win and sometimes lose. We all live one way, but we have to choose. Giving the most, giving it all that you can give. Don't be afraid to face the world alone. You stand up on your own. You stand up on your own. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Company at its best. We all can change, so find the strength to love yourself again. Round in circles again, trying to find my way around.
That was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. Man, great song. So you said that was
Thank
written
you.
about 15 years ago?
I think, yeah, 16, something like that, 15, 16.
Tell me, is it about your life or is it kinda,
It's personally, yeah, it's personal, but I mean, it doesn't reflect what the video is. It's about me doing things in certain times when I wasn't well, I would say. I was under the influence of alcohol and cocaine.
going through some rough times, but that song sounds
Yeah,
like it might have been about you right there.
yeah.
I can relate to it
It's about
because
it's about changing and not giving up and having hope to change.
Well, I was told that your songs, I was told by your record company that you're going to hear a lot of songs that have a deep message and meaning. They're not just songs. And I wish I was
Circles.
more. There you go. Yeah, I like it. That's a great tune. It's funny because I mentioned Box Me In, and I got all these people on the chat thread going, play Box Me In. And they probably don't even know the song, right? But that was one of your big hits. It as far as the numbers go.
Big one, yeah.
Yeah. And and
more of a wrestling thing. That's the reason, though. The WWE.
Okay. I gotcha. Now,
Yeah,
when
a lot of fans that watched that.
Now you said you didn't have a video, but it looks like yeah. You tired of you? I just hate commercials. Anyway, but you know what? That means people are listening. People are listening. YouTube wouldn't put commercials on there if they didn't want to cash in.
They always do that.
They always do that. But I'm going to cue it up. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about it, but I'm going to cue it up because I want people to hear the song. Hold on a second. Everything is just whacking out on me. Okay. So let's go back. I want to go back to the King brothers. Tell me a little bit more about you playing with your brother and the King brothers.
I was the background vocalist of my brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, my younger brother and my older brother were always lead. I never got to lead.
Let me think. In the Michael Jackson world, Michael was the star.
I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I never got to lead. I was just like, my dad said I was full of harmony, and that's where I had to be.
So now, did you all have great voices? The whole family?
I would think, yeah, we're different tones, different tones at that time.
Right, but I mean, tone-wise and vocal-wise, you guys were in harmony. You must have sang great together.
Yeah, we were good together in the 80s. A lot of people, we signed autographs and everything. Yeah,
that's awesome.
seriously. Yeah, we played Club Soda and all kinds of places back then.
Club Soda, man, that's great.
My dad had places for us to play. Yeah, we did pretty well for little kids. There was a few nights me and my younger brother did fall asleep though, because it was like we were going on at like 12 o'clock at night, and we're like 6-7 years old. I mean, yeah, we didn't make the cut. My older brother did the show one night by himself.
Oh my God. Now I have to ask, was there dancing involved like the Jacksons?
Just movements, I would say. Yeah.
Well, they kind of moved
stuff. Yeah, just our own our own dances, like we're kids. So
you didn't do the moonwalk or anything like that.
No.
That's pretty cool though, that you got to sing with your brothers like that.
Yeah.
And your dad.
And I got to a point where I just kept going and doing what I wanted to do with music and evolved like that. So
when did you start getting into like what was I thinking? When did you get into Stone Temple Pilots and some of those type of songs, some of those bands? Kurt Cobain and Nirvana.
Yeah, I grew up with that. That was my teenage years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did that just overwhelm you as far as music went? I mean,
it did. It started with Jim Morrison, I'll be honest. And I always listened to ABBA because my mom used to play the station, the radio, and I listened to the Carpenters. I loved them too.
Nice.
So
Carpenter.
My upbringing, my upbringing was a bit different from what I heard and what I wanted to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of music.
You sound very passionate and very diverse. Your listening genres are very diverse. And when you say Karen Carpenter and ABBA, those are two questions I would not have asked you tonight.
Yeah, I know no one would figure that, but yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, that's the song, I Found My Way. Kind of like that. That's kind of cool. They got the guitar drone going on, the guitar melodies going on.
Yeah.
I call it a drone.
Yeah, it is.
Your voice is really, really nice.
Yeah, monotone in that one. I would say,
Have you ever done any country?
No, but I would think that some of my acoustic songs could pass for that.
Well, you know, I thought about it. Like I was a heavy hard rock singer back in the 80s. And I started writing all kinds of stuff, ballads, um, poppy stuff, balladeer stuff. And I thought to myself, could I write a country song? And I probably could. I don't know if I'd have the sound, the natural sound of country. But if you put in the
I'm sure I
stealing,
could do it. Yeah, I could sing it, but I haven't really focused on writing one. Like,
because you know it's a huge moneymaker, man, if you can throw out a country tune and make it big. Because there's a lot of country listeners out there, you know?
I think for me that would be more like being like Beyonce for some reason. I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to put myself in an area I don't
Yeah,
belong in. You know what I
right.
mean?
No, no,
Then
I got
again,
you. No, I got you.
some people would say I don't belong in rock either, but I mean,
Well, you know, a lot of the curtain call record bands are heavy, right? And I'm glad that he's given me the bands like you. You know, I'll do all genres on this show, but I got to tell you, my favorite is this right here. And I like the
cool.
Southern rock. I've had a couple other bands from Curtain Call. Oh God, Fever Tree was on here. Door 13 was on here. They were really good. And there was another Southern rock band. I just did them. God, my brain. But I like the Southern rock. I like the anything with a melody and anything with a beat. I'm a
Yeah.
drummer. I was a
No, I hear
drummer
you.
at 4 years old, man. And when I'm writing, I think of the drums first. I go, how am I going to get this bass kick? I want it to really thump, you know? And it's the first thing that I do is I work out the drum sounds because I kind of know what I want. And then I start with the bass guitar, you know, I start thumping on the bass. And then I start dropping in some, you know, guitar tracks. And then I may throw in some keys depending on where I'm going with the song because I'm a keyboard player and
Cool.
primarily a singer, but I play everything. Um, I'm like that engineer guy, you know, but I'm not an engineer.
No,
I
I hear you. I
am
hear you.
not an engineer at all, man. And I need a guy. So maybe I could borrow him from you.
He travels. I think it would work.
Come out to Vegas, man. I need an engineer. No, I really do. I got a friend of mine, and everybody might know him out there in the music world. His name is John. Nobody knows that. He's Abso Facto. Abso Facto has been around for 20, 30 years,
That
and
sounds familiar.
yeah, if you Google him, you'll find all his tunes, and he's got millions of hits. He was signed by Atlantic Records, and I don't want to go into the story, but I met him really weird. I just met him through his wife. It's really weird. And I believe I'm not even going to go into it. Anyway, what a talented guy, but he's very humble, very quiet, and he was signed by Atlantic, and his more keyboard. He can do everything on a keyboard. You know, he can do all the music right there.
Cool.
You and I probably like the real stuff out on stage. The drum,
Yes, of course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of get the melodies in my head, and then I write lyrics on those melodies.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play Box Me In. I got some people screaming for it. You ready?
I'm ready, man.
I'm gonna go full screen. Hold on a second. Get my voice back one day. That'd be nice. Here we go. Here we go. Let's crank it up to 10.
Times have changed, memories fade.
very nice, man. Don't box me in. What was that
Thank you,
song?
man.
What was that song written about? I'm guessing. I think I know, but I want to hear it from you.
Not being closed in by somebody that you care about and just not having any room to breathe.
So give me a little bit of space to breathe. I got you. And I think so many people can
That
relate
was
to that.
actually written by, yeah, that was written by me and my guitarist Pat Faineuf when I was in the band with them.
And where did the progressive style of that song, that the stop
That's
and
the
go,
band.
that's the band.
Yeah, that's the band. That's a hard rock band.
But it's a progressive, right? Very melodic.
That's
It's a mix.
I,
It's a
I
mix.
love this style. Yeah, that's where it kind of started for me, like that stuff itself. Yeah.
Well, I'm a drummer, man, so I love to stop and go and break and do all kinds of crazy fills and change time signatures. And that song kind of has it all going on, right?
That's the thing though. See, everybody has their role to play in the band. It's like
Right, right.
5 guys. Now it's one.
Do you find and I'm relating this to me, do you find that your music writing changes when you're by yourself opposed to being in a studio with other guys? Your writing style changes a little bit?
I think the style changes, but I don't think the writing changes.
Okay.
I think it's just a bit different. I'm still
But are
passionate.
but are you swayed by the band members? Like, for instance, that song, would you have done that song by yourself?
No.
Well, no, I'm asking because
No.
I've been writing lately, and I'm writing these silly ballads. You know, they're just like they're nothing I used to play.
I put my 110% in for what I heard.
Yeah.
Music was created, and I just that's how I was doing it with the band. Then I
No, I
started
got
to
you.
write
You kind of go with the flow, right? You just write whatever's happening, man. No, I got
Yeah.
you, and that's awesome. Niki, same again. NLK, same again. I'm looking at one of the songs on my board. I was gonna play it and make you guess, but let me hear it. Let me hear it. When was this one written?
Same era as Don't Box Me In. That's all an EP.
Oh, it
That
is.
one, yeah. They're all mixed up, I guess, the way you have them, but I can tell you what songs are which.
I'm sorry, I didn't
No.
chronologically.
No, it's not you. I'm just saying that they're all mixed, like in general. Like
Yeah. Well, I was just saying all these songs.
Falter.
One time I did a show, right? And about at the end of the show, the guy goes, you know, those aren't my band members. He goes, I haven't played with those guys in 10 years. I'm like, well, these are the pictures I was sent. And the guy goes, that hasn't been a drummer. That guy's been played drums for like 10 years. And I'm like, I've been showing his picture all night. I go, who is this guy? He goes, he's no longer with the band. So I always tell the record company, could you please send me current photos and current songs? But this one here, Same Again, is called. I want to listen to it real quick.
All seen something we can change. Just turn and look our way. Nothing lost and nothing gained. We keep on searching. Yeah, we keep on searching.
voice changes in that song. Your tone of your voice goes into a little higher register, a little bit different tone. And I noticed that with some of your songs, your voice actually kind of changes. Of course, it's still awesome, but the tone of it kind of, is that something you try
Yeah.
to do, or is that just goes along with the song?
That's just the way I do things. I don't know. I guess I've never thought about that. There is two different ranges, though. Yeah.
Well, no, your voice is still,
Uh,
and I do the same thing. I do the same thing. But you have a great voice, but I almost didn't recognize. Like I'm like, wow, his voice really changed his tone right there. But still excellent. Excellent music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That song was a blast to play. I think the most fun out of all the songs I played with the One and Left and Magdalena. Yeah, that was a really fun rocky song. Playing
That's pretty.
bars. Oh my god.
I'll bet that would be a fun song
Oh,
to play. Yeah. It just keeps moving.
yeah.
I love songs that move and make you want to just get out and dance. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I know I was looking at your bio. You started playing music at 7 years old, performing with your brothers, the King brothers.
Yeah.
And then we go into you start listening to Linkin Park, 3 Day Grace. Our Lady Peace. And then who is Our Lady Peace? Can you?
Our Lady Peace is a big band from Canada.
Okay.
Wayne Maida is the lead singer. Yeah, they're well known here.
Got it. Because we all know who Kurt Cobain is and Chester Bennington. But I wasn't sure about that's very cool. So you have such a go
They
ahead.
have their the biggest album they had was Clumsy, and they had Superman's Dead on that album.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and Somewhere Out There, I think. I'm not sure if it's the same.
Now you said you had a song on
Yeah.
was it a movie soundtrack, or you said you were in some kind of movie or commercial?
Yeah, that was in the WWE for Countdown. Don't Box Me In.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it opens the movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Mm.
And how did you get that gig?
Music
They found you?
supervisors and
Yeah.
pitching, and I started to pitch stuff in the beginning to Backpage, and I found Nickelodeon there, but they didn't tell anybody they were Nickelodeon.
You started to pitch stuff where you said?
Backpage, Craigslist, stuff like that. I was going through all the
Okay.
listings, every country. Like
Okay.
every night I would just do the whole list. I got some expired ones, and some I still emailed even though they were expired, and I got responses. Yeah, I'm a diehard worker when it comes to stuff like that.
It sounds like it. Sounds like you're a very hard worker, like 150%. And do you find that you run into musicians that are as I don't want to say aggressive, but as dedicated or as like you? I know I'm gonna say no to me because I can't find anybody. But how about you?
I know there are some. I don't know. I think a lot of people I know, most of them have some help,
Yeah,
so it's a little bit
yeah.
easier. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who have the support. I just find that the industry supports the wrong kind of people.
It
I don't mean
does.
all of
No.
them.
Yeah.
I just
No.
mean there's many of them that, there's a lot of people that are not really artists. They're just
No, I got you. I got you. There's a computer program out there where a kid can drag down a C major chord into his laptop without ever having to play a C major chord. That type of thing where, you just drag in melody lines and then you pull in your drum beats and all this stuff. It's all mostly pushing buttons and dragging shit around. But as far as, really going out there and playing, and really actually playing the instrument, right? Grabbing a guitar or singing or on stage or playing with a band, it's just different.
Live music for sure. Yeah.
And how do you feel about vinyl coming back? Are you going to do some vinyl?
I was thinking about it. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty unique in its own way. Yeah. I think it's different. I'm not. Go ahead.
No. I think the kids are liking it because they can touch it, they can look at it and feel it. Like back when we were growing up, we had vinyl, right? We went from 4-track to 8-track tapes, cassette tapes, CDs, and it started all like with the vinyl, right? And we got to open it up and read the lyrics and see the pictures and all that and get it autographed or whatever. I think we miss a lot of that stuff, and I think the young kids growing up today they grew up with their parents you know, and they go, wow, Dad, you know, I wish they did albums again, you know, and here they are. Bands are doing vinyl
Yeah,
again. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I think a lot of the streaming platforms are kind of ruining that a lot of the stuff for artists because there's a lot of foul play going on in them too, and it's unfortunate, you know, because I think they're in charge of making or breaking artists as well, so they have a role to play for themselves, you know.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But I think yeah, you know, everybody likes to touch it, feel it, listen to it, have it on your in your record collection like we used to have.
Yeah,
You know,
that
those
takes a
times.
big part of takes a big part away from everybody that was growing up listening to an artist. That's a big part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember Jimi Hendrix when he had that first album out, you know, and my guitar player had a signed copy by Jimmy, and it was just awesome, right? I mean, you know, just having a signed copied album of some, you know, legendary musician like Jimi Hendrix, it's just fucking
That's
awesome.
crazy. Yeah. I
Well,
remember when I was a kid, I went to the store and I was getting bubblegum albums of Black and Blue Rolling Stones. It was actually the album, little album with a
oh yeah,
bubblegum record in it.
yeah,
But it was real, like
it was a real record. You're talking about the little mini ones they were making?
yeah, but it was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
real
a
album
bubble gum. Yeah,
cover,
yeah,
but the
yeah, yeah.
bubblegum was in it. Yeah.
That's too funny. So what's next for you? I know you talked about having a little bit of a sabbatical as far as playing out live, but you're writing songs and you're busy in the studio. So when do you anticipate to I know you're with Curtain Call and they're going to probably push you to get out live again. Anything in the future that the audience you can tell the audience that it's coming up?
Yeah, lots of good music. Lots of good music.
Lots
So
of good music's a good thing.
yeah, yeah. Lots of positive messages for people who are stuck somewhere and, you know, going through depression or just anything. Positive outlooks on it.
So you're a songwriter that has a message and it's
Yeah.
probably related to what's going on today. You know,
It's related to everything.
Everything,
It's
yeah.
spiritual. It's from the Most High.
yeah, that's awesome. We need more writers like that. We need more writers like that in the
Yeah.
world.
I think I'm trying to be one of the ones that is kind of like, I guess, cool in a sense. Not trying to keep it so like just so one way religious, like it can't be cool. I think
Right.
rock and God are cool together.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have a good message, you know.
Yeah.
To me it's good. I like the mix.
Well, you know, everyone listens to music, right? And you know, it's not like you're out there preaching or playing. You know, you're not a politician, but you can get a message through music. That's one of the reasons I like Tom. he just throws it out there, man. He's crazy.
He's straightforward, blunt though, blunt. That's it. This is it.
He's funny, you know. But when I first heard him, I told my nephew, I go, I love this guy, and I started following him, and he's busy. He's busy every week. He drops like a video on a Friday.
Yeah, God bless him though, man. Seriously, God bless him.
Yeah, yeah, and God bless you too. And I'm so glad that you're here tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and I hope to see you again. And maybe I'll see you on I don't know, TV or another movie or whatever. But I want people to go out and get your album. Where's the best place for people to go to get your music?
I guess you could get it off of Amazon.
Okay, so you're probably everywhere.
The older albums, yeah, you can get them, and the single of Running Out of Time, yeah.
Okay, so everyone go to Amazon and buy that album. If you liked a little bit of what you heard tonight, go get the album so you have it, and download his music. Nyki Lindsay King. Did I say that right?
Yeah. It's actually pronounced Nyki. I didn't cut you off to tell you that, but it's okay. It's like Chinese. Nyki. It's okay. Yeah,
you should have told me first. Oh no. Okay, so
I didn't want to bother you.
I'm saying, please bother me, Niki. I said Niki. It's Nyki.
Yeah.
Son of a gun! I wish someone had told me that when I did the commercial, because I'm Nyki Lindsay.
It's okay.
I'm sorry about that. And that's
everybody in Quebec. Everybody in Quebec calls me Niki anyway.
Do they really?
That's all they could. That's how they pronounce it when they see it.
Okay.
Niki.
Niki, what's up, Niki?
Not my friends. I'm talking about when you're at like a hospital or an appointment.
Okay,
Nikki.
gotcha.
Yeah. It's to me. It sounds like a chick's gonna walk down. You know, like.
Well, you could. It looks like it could be pronounced Niki, because the Y could be E.
Yeah.
Niki. I thought you were just doing a play on letters. You know, play on words there.
No.
Just to spell it different, you know. But it's Nyki Lindsay King. I love it. That's great.
If I would put 3 other Y's there, it would make it the way it is.
Yeah.
Nyki.
Yeah, or one of those lines above the letter, like Motley Crue. They have the dots and the lines. Anyway, I know it's getting late out there in Canada. You're in Montreal, Canada tonight, and I want to thank everyone for joining in. We had Jeff Virgil, who was on our chat tonight. We had Brian Moore from Curtain Call Records on the chat tonight. We have Tommy Brown on the chat tonight. We have Lois Larimore, who's been on the chat all night tonight. She's with Almost Famous Productions, which has millions of subscribers on there. And so you're being heard by a lot of people tonight. Jeff Virgil, Brian Moore, and we have, I can read them all. And then we're streaming around the world, and we're going to be releasing this again tomorrow night out to iHeart, Spotify, and everyone else. And that's when it reaches all of the countries and all of the different platforms. So awesome. I want to thank you. And now, do you have a website you want anybody to go to, or any merchandise that you have for sale, or can they just go to Amazon?
No, Amazon is just a single right now. I had some merchandise, but something happened. I don't want to get into that right now.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Something happened. Just let's say.
All right, man. I'm going to go heal my voice so I can talk next week. And I want to thank you so much for doing the Dean Von Music podcast show here in Las Vegas. And I look forward to seeing you down here, man. Coming down to Las Vegas. Oh, that would be awesome. So I'm just going to run a commercial. Wouldn't that be fun? So I'm going to run
Keep me away from the casino.
No. If you go to the casino, I'm going with you. All right, my brother. I'm going to run a video on the way out, and thank you, and have a great night, okay? And that's Nyki Lindsay King. Here we go.